Hi folks, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to BRDGE Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Today the mayor and I are just here together, no guests today. We're going to do a review of the 2020 season, such as it was, the events that took place here in the township. Mayor, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Gene. Hello.
How have you survived the year so far?
I'm surviving, and thank you for coming back. It's been a while since we've seen you here.
It's been a while.
I've had to sit in your chair a few times, and I would think that the electric chair might be a little bit more comfortable, or sitting on a cactus would be more desirable than sitting there where you are. So welcome back, and thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I'm glad to be back. I miss doing this. So how have you held up during all this, Mayor? It's been a tough year, generally.
Tough year. It started off at great. You know, the last show we did was I got reelected.
Yes.
Started my third term, but it went downhill quickly after March with the pandemic. But we've been up to the task, Gene. It's been a challenging year. It's been a unique year, something that none of us, no elected official living has had to go through. I think the last time the country had to go through something like this was in the early 1900s with the Spanish flu, and there was a pandemic. But this has really been a unique challenge to everyone involved, including our residents.
Yeah, I bet it has. I mean, with everything that took place. Mayor, a couple of things I was going to touch on. I heard that some of the departments did some nice things, substituting, one being silver linings.
Right. It's one of the first departments that was closed.
Yes.
It was impacted. We had to shut our senior programming down. But since then, the leaders over at the Silver Lining Senior Center have virtual now senior every day. There's activities for our seniors to do. They reinvented the wheel, as they say, when it comes to providing services for our senior population. Very proud of them.
Yeah, and that's a tough area too, the seniors to keep.
They're an at-risk population. Like I said, they were identified day one.
Yes.
That they needed to be protected, and that was the first program that ceased here in the township.
Okay, Mayor. I also understand there's been a booming success in COVID-19 testing.
Yes, we've taken on the task ourselves. The township is providing testing for our residents. Over at the high school, we had a very successful preliminary testing. We had over 1,100 residents or people just outside of Old Bridge were tested. And as we speak, we're doing it again, leading up into the Christmas,
That's what I understand.
Hanukkah, and then we'll continue as needed. Because the county was providing testing, but it wasn't near Old Bridge. You had to go outside. You had to go up to North Brunswick or Edison.
Yes, sir.
And that's pretty far, the long lines. So we've taken it upon ourselves to develop a testing facility right here in Old Bridge in conjunction with the Board of Education. We're
I
using
understand
their
it's going
facility.
to take place throughout all of December,
Yes.
a couple of days a week.
Go to our website. You'll see the dates
Right.
that it's taking place, the hours. My advice is to get there early. It fills up quickly. We average about 300 to 400 tests per day.
Really?
So we limit the amount of cards so we can finish it up, and have all your paperwork in order, copied so that it moves. We're averaging about one test per minute.
Really?
Or moving forward.
Wow.
It is the saliva test. It's not the nasal test, so it's very. But again, you have to wait sometimes for a couple hours.
Wow.
To get to the testing,
I know.
to get
It's
through
a
testing.
big deal right now.
But
all
it's
over
common,
the
it's typical all over.
Right.
And we're pretty much with the averages. We've seen an increase in the cases over the last few weeks, which was expected with the increased testing. And I think a lot of people have the COVID hangover. A lot of people aren't being as cautious as they should be.
Right.
A lot of things had reopened. So now I think we're getting what they call that second wave. We're fortunate that we're not getting a lot of hospitalizations like a lot of other places in the country. We're just getting people testing positive. They're getting through it.
Okay.
So
Mayor, what was the impact on, say, the business owners here in the township?
yeah.
It had to be tough.
Devastating. A lot of our small businesses were shut down for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And now they've been able to reopen, but on a limited basis. Indoor dining, very limited, and that now the bars are closed.
Yeah.
Again, all our small businesses have been severely impacted, and we've been working with them again from day one. The mayor's office, Stephen Mackis, has been going out there helping them. As you know, the township we're giving out small business grants.
Yes, sir.
If you watched the last council meeting, we just appropriated another $100,000
Really?
to give out to small businesses. We're already giving out $100,000. So
Help them along.
we helped them
Boy, I
along,
feel
try to
bad
get
for
them
these
through
people.
this.
This is
I mean, you can only imagine a business owner, a small business owner that, invested his life savings into a business, and now he's struggling to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay his employers. I mean, there is help out there, but it's difficult.
Oh, I bet it is.
It
I
is.
just
So,
don't envy these people at all.
No.
Mayor, how about tax collection? You read about people not making their mortgage payments.
Yes.
They're not making rental. What does that do to the township revenue?
yes, our tax collections are down. Our revenue is down, not only from taxes, but other, areas that we bring revenue in. The cops couldn't write tickets for a few months. Our building department had slowed down. The parking revenue. There's a lot of ways where the township makes money that we were unable to bring in that money, and that's money that's never going to come back. We're hopeful that we'll get some help from the federal government in the second round of stimulus. There is talk that money going directly to the municipalities as opposed to the states, to the county, and then trickle down to us.
Right.
But we're taking steps here at the local level to make sure that it doesn't have a really negative impact on our residents. We're going to do everything we can in our power not to reduce services and just get through this.
Yeah.
And by using, good business sense,
Right.
which we're fortunate that we have here in Old Bridge,
Yeah.
and get back on track. And we have to collect all the tax money, and whether we collect it or not, it has to be distributed. I've said that many times.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you've talked about
The
that.
county gets their full share. The school district gets their full share, the fire district, the library. Even if we don't collect it here at the municipal complex, we still have to pay our bills.
Yeah. Mayor,
So-
speaking of that, you're preparing the new budget?
Yes,
It's
we're in the
already
process
budget
now.
time, huh?
Budget, yeah, we've been working on it since August.
Yeah.
And COVID has had a big impact on how we're doing business in town. We're fortunate that everything we do in town is still going on. My message to our workers were the job has to get done. I mean, we have to protect our employees and their families.
Yes, sir.
We are working from home in some departments where possible, alternating. We're doing everything we can to make sure that the services that are provided to the residents continue to get provided to the residents in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think we've missed a beat really here in Old Bridge. I
was
think
gonna
we're
ask
ahead
you
of the
that.
curve.
I'm sorry, Mayor. What's the reaction of the residents to all this? Are they hanging in there?
I believe so. I think they're grateful for what we have here, what's going on. We're very accommodating. If resident does need to come to town, we'll make arrangements for them to come to town, on an appointment only. And if people show up at the door, we try to accommodate them as best we can. But I think it's the feedback has been positive,
they've been
especially with the testing now.
Yes.
Nothing but a lot of compliments. Thank yous for everything that we're doing. We're in the same boat.
Yeah, and this is no
all of
no
us. We're
charge.
people too. We have families.
Right,
Everybody
that's
who
right.
works here in town. We're human, just like
Right.
everyone else.
Okay, Mayor, it's been a challenge.
It's
to
been
put
a
it
challenge,
mildly.
but I think I'm up to the challenge. I've been,
You
mayor.
love
I
it,
think
right?
I faced everything.
Right.
People have said that so many times. Mayor, since you've been the mayor, everything has happened. The earthquake, and
That's right.
there's been snowstorms. There's been so
Sandy,
many
Hurricane
things. Sandy,
Sandy. I know.
you name it, and nobody
know.
predicted a pandemic, but yet here it is. And I find myself as the mayor of Old Bridge during a pandemic.
Mayor, how helpful has Trenton been in all this? With directives, with money, with
Trenton,
Governor Murphy.
oh boy, Gene, not helpful at all.
Really?
He continues to come up with these executive orders. As we speak, there seems to be a new one every other day. No, they've been no help at all, Trent.
Oh, okay.
And I can honestly say
Maybe we'll
that.
drop it right there.
I don't know what else to say. You always say if you have nothing good to say, don't say it. But no,
Okay.
they've been no help to us at all.
Okay, well, good, Mayor. Let's talk about some good news.
Okay.
I saw that Cottrell Farm was dedicated. It's
Yes,
coming along
we did a
very nicely.
groundbreaking ceremony, and anyone who drives by the facility will see the progress that has been made. The house looks like the day it
Really?
was built. It's
Have
been
to go
freshly
back and look,
painted.
yeah.
A new roof has been put on. All nice copper work, and all the overgrown shrubbery has been removed from in front of the building and the sides. It really looks great. And the barns have been painted. They're being refurbished. The place looks great. I couldn't be more happier. And
Mayor,
I think the
so-
residents see that and say,
I'm sorry?
wow. The residents drive
Can
by
see
and
that,
they
yeah.
see it. they see lifts up and scaffolding and people working on a daily basis around it. So that's coming along. I know it took longer than we wanted it to take, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be worth the wait.
Mayor, there's some talk it might go into the National Historic Places Register.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're taking every angle we can to try to get funding to complete the project. So the more agencies that are involved, the more potential we have to get funding to help us. You know, we've put a lot of money into it. The county's put a lot of money into it. Green Acres has put money into it, but we need to continue that money chain in order to finish it, because we have great plans for that
I know,
location.
I remember, with the cultural arts.
This is phase one. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be tremendous. That'd be a tremendous.
It is. It's going to be a tremendous asset to the town. Once the vaccine comes out and everybody's allowed to gather, it's going to be great.
Mayor, one other thing. I was over at the Raritan Bay Medical Center recently to visit my ophthalmologist. I see a little work being done over there.
A lot of work.
Goodness.
Hackensack Meridian is investing, I believe it's a $30 million project to renovate the whole first floor of that hospital into a state-of-the-art emergency room. So that's a big investment into our community, which helps the people of Old Bridge, helps the surrounding communities, that they'll be able to go there and get, I mean, if anybody has had to go there for an emergency room knows it's very small, very cramped. This is going to be state-of-the-art with individual rooms. We can do a whole show on, we'll bring somebody in from the hospital to explain to the resident. It's going to deal with mental health issues. You know, it's really going to be an asset to the community once it is complete. I know it's a lot of construction going on now. They're revamping the parking lot. The buildings are going to be connected where you don't have to go outside, you know, as you do now.
Right.
So it's really going to be, it's good for the community and it's good for the surrounding communities. And we're thanking Old Bridge, as especially now during COVID, we have a hospital in here.
To go,
Yeah, at one time I believe they were up close to 60, patients on a COVID floor, which is a lot. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's a great addition, I think, because you go from Freehold, from Central State, all the way up to St. Peter's or to
Robert Wood.
Robert Wood.
Right.
Now we're in the middle there, and that's got to help everybody.
Yes, and they're doing the same thing in Bayshore, which they're doing an emergency room, a renovation there, and that a lot of people from Old Bridge go there who live on that part and they live in that part of town. So Hackensack Meridian, we're lucky we have them.
Okay, Mayor, I noticed that you've been busy hiring some policemen, some police officers, making some promotions.
Yes. As the township grows, so must our police force. And the chief and I, we believe that response time is so important.
Yes, sir.
To be able to, when someone needs help, that we'll be able to respond within that 2-minute period, that we have an officer at your door. And in order to do that, we need to grow our department. We're at high numbers now. We're over 100. As you remember, I came in when I first took office. I think we were in the 80s.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. Yes,
now we're over 100, and we continue. We're committed to improving public safety. Old Bridge just again got selected as the safest town in Middlesex County, and 4th in the state of New Jersey. And that says a lot about our residents. It says a lot about our police department. It says just a lot about Old Bridge. We're such a big town. We're such a diverse town, but yet the crime, knock on wood, Gene, is relatively low based on, the surrounding towns and statistics that are gathered by the FBI. We have a law-abiding community, and we have a great police department that is there to help when needed. So, and we will continue to increase our numbers.
How many officers did you hire?
Gene, I've lost count.
7 or 8?
Just over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
4, and then another 3 is 7 at least.
Yeah, and you promoted some people too.
Yes, we had some promotions, some sergeants, lieutenants. So, and that's a big deal for someone working up. We continue to build the administrative staff at the police department, which is so important. That as these younger individuals come on, they need somebody to come and with experience and tell them what to do, how to do it, because policing has changed in 2020. It is different.
I bet it is. Yeah, Mayor, to that point, how's the community policing program going?
going well.
with
It's
Pat?
going well. Pat D'Onofrio, Officer D'Onofrio, has done an extraordinary job with the COVID. He was appointed. He's responsible for getting all the data and from the state, from the county, from the local levels. He puts all the cases in the CAD. He reports to me every day.
Really?
Every day,
Wow.
yes.
So it's been an overwhelming success.
Overwhelming success, and yet he still has his other issues with the schools. Now that the remote, we're still doing the drug program in schools. We're still out there with the community. You know, it's quite a task, but he's been up to the task, and I really thank him for his efforts.
Okay, well, it's a tribute, I think, to the township and, you know, to the management, as you say, safest town, one of the ratings it has, and the residents.
Yes, we've seen a
certainly.
big people coming from all over to housing markets, very strong. Every weekend we have people coming over from some of the cities that are not safe for any longer and are trying to, you know, relocate their families and kids here at the Old Bridge, and I'm sure they look that up and find a safe place to relocate.
Mayor, to that point, the school system right now, how's it working now? Is it virtual? Is it in person?
It is virtual right now as we speak.
Yes, sir.
They went to a hybrid where they had some, it was alternating home and in classroom. But because of the uptick in the COVID cases and some of the staffing needs they couldn't meet and some of the students, so it was decided that they go 100% remote. I believe until sometime in January they'll reevaluate the situation. But you can do a show with David. He can go over all the challenges he's faced in the Board of Education and the monument, the Herculean task that was involved with the school district. And we're working together with the testing, so with the testing facility over at the high school facility. So they're doing the best they can. I really do.
Yeah, that's
I
a
believe
tough act.
that.
I know my grandchildren are involved in that too,
Yes.
Where they live.
My grandson is doing the remote kindergarten, which is a
Remote
challenge.
kindergarten. Yeah, I bet.
It's an adventure every morning between my daughter and myself, keeping him occupied in front of the TV.
Keep their
but
attention focused.
keep them focused. You really do appreciate the teachers more, I think, when you see them trying to maintain order
Yes.
and not being able with the student right in front of them. Again, just a tremendous job.
It is. It definitely is a tremendous job being a teacher in good times.
Yes.
Never mind now. It's a real problem. Mayor, I notice in looking over the bulletin board and some of the other information, a lot of interlocal shared services.
Shared
agreements.
services,
Was
I
there
call them shared
shared
services.
services?
Yeah.
Marlboro, Middlesex County. Could you discuss those a little bit? Like,
Sure. Well, we've always looked for ways where we can help each other, and that's important. If one town is doing something good, hey, if we can piggyback off it or use it. Woodbridge we use for the life coaches, the opioid addiction, where they
Yes,
have
sir.
a great program in Woodbridge. Why not use that for Old Bridge? It's more efficient, I think. Why invent the wheel when
Right.
another town's doing it? So it's important, and I think it says a lot about our administration that we go out and we look for these areas where we could partner together and do the shared services. It's better for our residents, better for their residents. It's just a good working relationship we have with our surrounding towns.
Did I notice that Middlesex County is going to be involved in health?
Yeah, we
Program,
we
health
have
sharing.
shared services with Middlesex County for a number of years now, where they run our health department. A lot of towns have their own health department.
Yes, sir.
We're here in Old Bridge that we run it through the county, and especially now with this COVID, it's so important. The county plays such an important role with the testing and
Yeah.
all the information that goes on. So we have somebody at the table already at the county, and they provide the resources we need that would cost so much more if we had to provide it
you had to do it
ourselves.
yourself,
If we had to have an Old Bridge Health Department, I mean, it would probably be twice as much as what it's costing us now to run this, to have the same services. And they are very proactive for anyone who calls with a health issue. They're on it right away. So we're very fortunate. I believe we have 2 health officers assigned to Old Bridge full time. So, and we have the resources that the county has. So it's the best of
So
both
that's a
worlds.
win-win.
It's a win-win-win for everyone.
Okay, Mayor, if I can talk about another subject that's been in the news quite a bit in the last few years, and that's opioid addiction.
Oh.
How is that going in the township right now? I haven't read a lot about it in the paper.
Well,
and monitoring
it's
the
taken a
papers.
back burner, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in headlines.
How are we
But
doing?
now the need for counseling or in programs probably exceeded what's being provided right now, because they too have been impacted. The programs that these people suffering from addiction, they do not have access to the programs they had prior to COVID. And we are fortunate in town that we have a number of facilities. Club Serenity over at St. Ambrose is up and running, providing the services that people need. And now mental health issue, and every doctors, we've talked about it. People have had to deal with death. People have to deal with loss of job. People have to deal with loss of their homes. There's just so many more challenges people have to, and people who were subject to addiction now, somebody might, turn to alcohol. Somebody might turn to drugs. It's just a snowball effect, Gene.
Yeah,
so
it's stress from this whole
stress.
COVID thing.
I mean, everybody deals with stress in a different way.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to keep up with the demand. We're working with all our, our local programs to keep them up and running. Club Serenity was just honored as one of our local volunteer in 2020 because of what they've been able to do, despite COVID, and helping people.
Okay.
So,
Mayor, looking ahead, if we may, away from this year of 2020.
okay, I take one day at a time.
One day at a time. If you look ahead right now to 2021, what do you see? Any crystal ball?
I'm always the optimist, Gene. I'm hoping a vaccine is going to be available within the next few months. Hopefully soon it's going to start distributing to our healthcare workers, which we need to protect. I believe on the same time they're going to be our at-risk population, meaning our nursing homes, our assisted living facilities, so we can try to get those individuals back with their families. A lot of people haven't seen their loved ones in a long time. And then they're saying that maybe by spring or summer of 2021, the vaccine will be available to the general public, and then we can get back to I don't know if it's ever going to go back to normal.
Right, whatever normalcy is.
But we can get back to feeling confident that we're not, impacting negatively others, that we can start socializing. We can get our kids back to school, which I think is so important.
Yes, sir.
At that young age, they need to be socialized also with their peers. It's important as human beings that we don't lock ourselves in our homes and just watch TV, because that can be more damaging than anything.
The social life, Mayor.
Yeah, the social life. We need to get back to our restaurants. We need to get back to our concerts. All the things that we do to enjoy life.
Right.
And it seems to be we don't have that any longer. I mean, we're even fearful of spending time with our family.
I know. That's scary.
Is this the last Thanksgiving? People didn't get together, but is this the last one you're going to be here for? It's stressful. So I want to get back. That's my goal, to try to restore a sense of normality, a sense of what we're used to, a sense of what we need. That's my goal.
That'd be
and at the same time, keep the township running.
Keep the township. Mayor, if they had the vaccine distribution, do you see that being done on a local basis too, like by township?
Gene, I would be
county,
remiss if I said anything.
It's hard to say.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I would hope it's going to be a trickle down, and sure, if we could do it at the local level, let's go.
Yeah, that's
we
what
would
I
be
mean.
more
Sort of
than
like
willing
the
to
testing
cooperate.
at the local level and the vaccines at the local level.
Yeah, but we have a number of nursing homes that hopefully will be getting that vaccine before the end of the year, because it's been a real crisis.
Yeah.
Maintaining staffing, they've been
I
hard.
know,
I think they account for 40% of the deaths have been nursing homes. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, I know it's a lot.
Substantial. And
I
the
know
people that work there are really doing a tremendous job.
They are. I don't envy them at all.
No.
I know. My mother-in-law is 99 years old.
Wow.
And she's in a continuing care community. She has her own apartment, independent living. But that's very stressful there too, because every now and then they have to go into quarantining and protecting people, and instead of opening dining rooms, they give food out the door.
And that's got to be tough on the people there too.
It's brutal on the people because they're into socialization a lot, and then they can't socialize at all. It's a real challenge. Mayor,
devastating
before
impact.
we go, what's the message you'd like to give the residents?
Well, I always try to give a message of hope.
Right.
I try not to sugarcoat things. I mean, sure, these are desperate. These are very desperate times. These are challenging times, but we're getting through them. I want to thank the residents for all their help, their support, their prayers. But my message to the residents of Old Bridge is a message of hope, rather. That we're gonna get through this together. The more people working together, the better off we're all going to be. It's not going to be easy. The road is going to be a little bumpy. Hopefully we won't hit too many roadblocks, but we're going to continue moving forward. We have to. We owe the younger generation that we continue to move forward, that we get through this. Right. We're not going to put our hands up and say, Uncle. I'm just going to keep working every day that the Lord allows me to work hard. And if there's anything that you need, please reach out to the mayor's office. We're here to help. We're here to get you through this. If you're struggling, you're a small business, please call us. Fill out the application. We can get you some money if you qualify. If you're in need of some services, food, or food bank is going above and beyond. We probably doubled the amount of people that are dependent. Please, there's no reason to go without food in Old Bridge. Call us. We'll get you through this.
Okay, Mayor. Well, thank you. It was good being with you again today.
Thanks, Gene. Thank you for being here. Hopefully we'll do more shows.
I hope so. I hope we can start the new
And each
year.
show will get better and better and better, and good news at each show.
Okay. And folks, this has been the last show we'll be doing this year with the mayor. As I said earlier, we've only done a couple. This is the last one for 2020. We'll be back in 2021 with more programs. Meanwhile, and recognizing this time of year, we'd like to, on behalf of the mayor and the administration, wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a very healthy, happy, better 2021. Thank you for watching Old Bridge Television. We'll see you again next time. I'm Gene McLaughlin. Take care.
We're back with 4 awesome discoveries you probably didn't hear about this week.
A new sensor based on an ancient African musical instrument can detect adulterated and counterfeit medications. Researchers replaced the prongs on the umbira with a hollow metal tube. When you inject it with a known pure drug, the frequency of the note played is determined by the drug's density. Bad drug, different note. Result? An inexpensive, easy-to-use medical instrument.
Cloud computing for reals. Clouds play a pivotal role in our planet's climate, but their diversity and size make them difficult to factor into climate prediction models. With the help of the NSF-funded Stampede-2 supercomputer, scientists have trained a deep neural network dubbed the Cloud Brain to more accurately represent cloud physics within a climate model. It's also much faster and uses a fraction of the processing power of traditional modeling approaches. The Cloud Brain is moving on to trickier climate models, and, well, the sky's the limit.
Researchers have pinpointed what's happening in the brain when people switch between different languages. The test subjects were fluent in English and sign language, which are often communicated simultaneously. The results reveal that most of the heavy lifting for a bilingual brain is actually turning a language off, while there is little to no effort required to turn one on.
Geneticists have sequenced the genomes of 2 entire 6th century barbarian cemeteries. Together with the team's historians and archaeologists, they're providing new snapshots of the migration period, centuries of major transformation after the decline of the Roman Empire. They were surprised to find a strong link between genetic ancestry and valuables buried in the graves, suggesting a mix of genetic backgrounds played a part in social identity. The team hopes to study more medieval cemeteries using this unique cross-disciplinary approach.
And there you go. We'll see you next week with 4 more awesome discoveries with funding from NSF.